Hi my beautiful super soul sisters, and today we're going to talk about compared to what shoes. So I did a live and this was one of the things that got brought up in that. So I thought I'd the Facebook live in the group, for those who are watching on YouTube, you're very welcome to come and join. It's free, by the way. It's just a wonderful group to help empower women. We just got to get us into our own shoes, on our own path, going our own way, don't we? And quite often, like, if you're sitting in a place of I don't really quite know how to do that, I've kind of lost myself, it's not an uncommon thing that I hear. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to speak to this, outside of the group as well as inside the group, because this is such a common thing, and especially for women. And it really does concern me, as I've mentioned before in my previous videos, that we compare ourselves so much these days to whoever. We're constantly being bombarded, especially on social media, dare I say, telling us that we simply aren't good enough. We've got to be better than what we are. Or and I'm not saying don't make the most of yourself, don't misunderstand that. I do believe that we should make the most of who we are, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, physically, whatever, in every aspect, in work and relationships. Making the most of what you have is different to changing what you have in order to be accepted or loved. Okay, and I think there's a very big difference. So unfortunately, social media has just plastered everywhere that we've got to constantly be something that we aren't in order to get that. And I would like to fly in the face of that and say, what a load of BS. So, one of the things that people sometimes say is like, well, they look like they've got it all, and it's like they make it look so easy. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I started doing the shoes off what's really going on sessions. I've just started doing that in the Facebook group. And it's to address that whole thing of like what's really going on behind the scenes. If you're doing it from a motivation and an intention of improving yourself irrespective of what others think of you, and to be the best version of what you came here to be, then that I am totally for. That's what I am all about. And accepting that we are all different, and that's what the differences in the world make the world go round, doesn't it? Like, you can't all be the same. If we'd all be the same, how boring would that be? So we need those points of differences. We need to have that balance, the yin and the yang, and we kind of need to have that comparison to whatever, but where it's not where it disempowers us. And I think that's the difference, is one's empowering and one's disempowering. And the compared to what, I do worry, the compared to what shoes is, if you're wearing those, you're sitting there, and if you think about it, it doesn't make you feel good, does it? It's like, well, so, they seem to have all the looks. So like there was one photo, and I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous, like this family, and oh my goodness, these girls were just beautiful, like absolutely freaking drop dead gorgeous, stepped out of Vogue, like all long blonde hair, bar one who had dark hair. The father and the mother were sitting on the stairwell, and I think they had 7 kids, all of them absolutely drop dead gorgeous, like so cute. And I was just, now people would look at that and go, oh my God, like I was even going, wow, like they look amazing. How much of them are real? What's left? Collagen in the lips, false eyelashes, long blonde hair, probably extensions. The father was dark and the mother was blonde, maybe, but I was more drawn, honestly, there were 2 that really stood out. And one was one of the girls at the front who looked natural. It all looked natural. She didn't have all the collagen, puffed up, false look about her. She looked like this. She was a natural beauty. Okay. And the one with the dark hair was also more like the dad, and you could see that she, you know, she was more sort of reserved. She was sort of sitting in the back, not needing all that full front attention. And it was noticeable. It was noticeable. And yet all the rest of it, now, maybe they didn't have, you know, implants and, you know, extensions and false eyelashes. Who knows? Maybe that they genuinely are like that. But either way, that immediately, that response, even in myself, put me on the back step of like, I don't look like that, and I'm probably never going to look like that. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, how do we get to the point where we can go, so what? You know, it's just like, do you know what? Actually, I don't want to be like that. That's where I'm at. It's like, I was more drawn to the two natural ones than I was to the unnatural. And my worry is that with all the conditioning, the social conditioning and the social media and the social pressure, and thereby it goes offline and the friends start doing it, and you know, now you're expected to behave in a certain way, especially our young ladies coming up through the ranks. You know, constantly you got to look like this is the trend, this is what you got to do, this is how you got to be, this is how you got to act. You know, you're supposed to have the boyfriend, you're supposed to do well at school, you're supposed to do well at sports, you're supposed to look gorgeous, you're supposed to be lean and thin and, you know, fit and strong, and you know, and it's just like, well, is that really realistic? And why is that pressure being put on our young ones? Whereas the natural beauties, and even if they weren't that gorgeous, you know, I'd be going, well, I will probably prefer them anyway, because of the lack of that falseness, the lack of the overemphasis on the material. So just be aware of that compared to what stuff going on. I think even just being aware of the difference, you know, if it makes you feel disempowered, if you're feeling, oh crap, I need to change something in order to be like that, then we know that we're not on the right path, right? This is not the path we really want to be going on, because that whole downward spiral, you're going to have your parrot shoes on. Your parrot shoes are going to go, you're not good enough, you should be better looking, you should be prettier, you should be smarter, you should be whatever it is, ding ding ding, in order to be loved, accepted. I'm here to say absolute rubbish, load of BS. You can wear whatever shoes you want, honey. You choose your shoes. You choose the path that you want to be on. You choose, and I will help you get there. This is what this is all about. But being aware of those compared to what shoes is your first port of call. And I think that that 90%, if I probably, I mean, maybe it's over the top, me saying 90, maybe 80, I don't know what the percentage is. I don't think there's ever been a study on it. Maybe there has, where we can actually say, look, is this helping? Is this empowering us as women? I don't think it is. So let's stop doing the compared to what. Let's become aware of it. Be conscious of what triggers you. So if it's social media all the time, maybe what you do is you just calm down on the social media front. Maybe pick one platform. Maybe don't do it as often. Have it where it doesn't run your life. You know, like often I see these devices as an extension of our young ones' hands, you know, like they're part of their body almost. And that concerns me, because now that thing is driving their behavior, and the behavior will also govern how they feel. Okay, so how they internalize those emotions is how they're going to feel, and then it'll manifest in discord, dis-ease, depression, sadness. You know, sometimes it works, you know, but overall I tend to find that at some point, because you can't be everything to everybody, that they start toppling. They're just trying to be too much to everybody, and be so completely different to who their authentic self is, that discord, that distance between the two really becomes quite significant. And I want to collapse that boundary. I want to just, you know, actually get rid of that the discord, the false self, I guess you could call it, and get back to the true authentic self. And then go, do you know what a relief. I mean, can you imagine like how less pressure there would be on you if you adopted a pair of your authentic self shoes. You know, your no more comparing to what shoes, where you go, do you know what, I'm not going to compare myself anymore. And if I'm getting triggered by social media, if I'm getting triggered by movies that I watch, or documentaries, you know, that are only this way inclined, or adverts, or, you know, product sales, whatever it is, if it's making me feel uncomfortable inside, then stuff it. I'm kicking these shoes off, right? I'm just not going to wear my compared to what shoes. If looking at siblings that are doing better, or friends that are doing better, or a company that's doing better is making you feel awful, take those suckers off. Get out of those shoes, get them out of your closet, and go, right, that's it. This is my path now. I don't even want those shoes. These are the shoes I'm going to wear from now on. Get clear on what that is. Now, how do you do that? This is what this whole journey is about. It's understanding what shoes you do have on, what shoes you don't have on, what shoes you do want to have, what shoes you want to be on what path, and how do you actually do that. Now, you've got to understand your machine. You've got to understand your closet. You've got to go, this is me. These are my shoes. And what you'll find is that you have a unique beauty, which is why you've come here. It's just like every single person on this planet has a unique fingerprint. Every single person. Like, there's not one person. That's why the cops can take fingerprinting, because no one on the face of the planet is you. So make up your own closet that suits you. Let's do some feng shui. Let's get rid of those compared to shoes, compared to what shoes. And let's get clear about what does work for you. But you have to understand what's already in there and which ones are not serving you, for you to be able to do that. So the compared to what's really important to get onto what is it. And you'll notice, because you get that feeling inside of, I don't feel good. I just don't feel good. I'm not happy with myself. I'm dissatisfied with myself. I feel like I'm not good enough. And as soon as you start going down that road, you're just going to be in a downward spiral. So recognize that parrot shoe pattern. And if you're not sure about what I'm talking about with parrot shoes, go back, have a look on the YouTube channel for parrot shoes. And if you need some help and support, ladies, hop on over to the Facebook group. That's what this is all about. You know, we're here to help support each other, get us back to our authentic selves, wearing our shoes on our path, going our way. I hope you found that useful today. Namaste.